What's up guys, Houndish here, and today we're just jumping in with a quick Destiny 2 video to check out the new dungeon exotic for the Warlords ruins. So this is called the Buried Bloodline, and we can see it's an exotic sidearm right here. Actually a pretty unusual weapon. It comes with Hungering Quarrel, and it double fires tracking bolts, and landing bolts leeches health from the target. But on top of that, it has Violent Reanimation, where multiple final blows with the weapon will grant Devour to the wielder. And so when you're damaging enemies with this weapon, you do get a bit of health back, but of course, getting a few final blows will grant Devour, and that in itself is pretty good. I think it's like 3 or 4 kills. And Devour will be up, so if you're continuously making kills with this thing, you're going to have Devour pretty much permanently. The weapon does have tracking, it's not absolutely crazy, but if you're sort of hip firing at targets loosely, you can afford to be a little bit of a potato, much like myself, and this thing is still going to land body shots at least. And of course with Devour, final blows restore health, grant grenade energy, and extend Devour, so between the base perk and the way that Devour works in itself, Devour ends up being up pretty much all of the time. But the other good thing, of course, with this weapon being able to grant Devour itself, means that you don't actually have to be on a Void subclass. So you could be a Titan rocking Banner of War, for example, and have both Banner of War and Devour active at the same time, as you can see in some of this gameplay here. I've turned into an absolute tank. So it's a pretty strange weapon, it looks weird, but also the way it actually feels to use is pretty unusual. And I must admit, it feels a little bit flumpy or clumpy, or whatever the word may be, but without getting too technical about it, obviously with the bonuses that the weapon is granting, it is actually reasonably strong. And you can imagine with this being able to grant Devour the way it does, that there are a whole bunch of different exotics and builds that you could put this into. And further down the road, once the weapon is acquired as a random drop in the dungeon, you can get the exotic catalyst. I believe that is something we can unlock through repeated runs of the dungeon. And with the catalyst unlocked, while Devour is active, the weapon also weakens on hit. So it's a pretty interesting thing. Of course, this is just a quick first look at the weapon. I'm sure plenty of folks will do builds and more in-depth reviews of it, but give us your initial thoughts seeing it right there, or indeed if you've used it down in the comment section. Certainly an unusual weapon, so I'd be curious to get your thoughts below. Otherwise though, there we go, that's just a quick look at the weapon. My kids are asleep in the next room, so I'm trying not to be too noisy. Despite my streamer RNG and the fact that I got the dungeon exotic first run, it's the first time in a while that's happened though, so I will gladly accept. Guys, I appreciate you tuning in, enjoy the new dungeon, and whatever you get up to, I hope you have an awesome day.